Hello, my loves. So lots is swirling around still. I know it's been a while. There's a lot processing. Whatever you see on the title will be what came through, and I'm just going to focus on what will be the most beneficial messages for those of you here with me at this time, whenever you find this video. And I'm just going to light us a little sage to support the process. And while I'm doing this, I just want to let you know that the Uncensored series is complete. For any of you who want to work with that, is available on my site. Also, any of you who have worked on it, I want to let you know that there is an illumination energy that's being born from this process to help us really go deeper into illuminating what we've now uncensored. And for everyone, I'm going to be doing a free illumination session just to support these current energies that we're all moving through at this time. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, we're just going to go into some messages here. And yes, what is it that would like to come through that will be the most beneficial for those of you here with me? What is being illuminated at this time? We're open to collective messages, masculine and feminine messages. Again, whatever is going to be the most supportive. Okay, we have a Six of Cups. So this feels like where we are collectively going through a maturing phase. And what I'm sensing is like we've already gone through a maturing phase and we are at this process of a deeper state of bringing in the results of what we have been accomplishing and achieving and working through. There's this energy that we are facing another layer of shadows, but simultaneously going through like a rebirth. So there's that deeper sense of a death to rebirth process. But as I'm saying that, there's also like a lot of retrieval. So what's coming in is like those parts that we've been uncensoring. There was some deeper shadows to clear out to also receive the gifts. So we've been collectively going through that process, whether you participated in the series or not. Probably many of you have been in a phase where, again, you're wanting like to open up more, you're wanting to move forward, you're wanting more of the new to open up. And what we've been finding is that we had to open up some energies that maybe were forgotten or censored or put on the back burner. And this sort of feels like, as I'm looking at this picture, it's speaking to me a bit different. And it's like where parts of us are opening from our childhood until this present moment, maybe pieces or gifts or things and experiences we had along the way that maybe we closed off or shut down or again put on the back burner, and now they're opening up. What is also coming through is this is connected to potentially dreams or childhood visions or things that you intended to experience through your life as you grew, as you got more and more life experience. But again, some of these things got put to the wayside because life happened. But what I'm seeing is this is part of what is being uncensored: the gifts, the memories, the wisdom, the what's coming through is like that core soul blueprint, like what your soul intended. And this uncensoring process and this illumination process is where we're actually illuminating where things got closed down to retrieve the gifts, right? But sometimes when we're going in and we're getting these parts of ourselves back, they were closed down for a reason. So you may be experiencing some thawing out, or again, some clearing of some shadows or old traumas, or maybe even old physical symptoms coming up, old emotional memories coming up during this process. But what it feels like and what I'm seeing is that a lot of this is about what's clearing out A lot of it might even be things you've already worked on, but now you're dropping it into a pocket or a space that was previously censored or closed. So you're bringing the results to the space to allow the deeper transformation to happen in that area of your life or your own being. Okay. And so there's multiple things that are coming up with this uncensoring. Like I said, we're having this illumination energy where it's like the light coming in and we're asking for the truth. We're asking for illumination to be shown what did we forget? What did we put on the back burner? Because if it's been this censored or this squished, suppressed, you may have completely forgotten about it. So we want to ask to bring in the illumination energy to support that clarity, to support each of you to be able to see maybe where you've had some blind spots. Okay. And it's some of the energies that were coming through over the past week or so is, like I've said, where we are unraveling out of deeper states of the victim, savior, perpetrator consciousness and bringing in more self love, personal responsibility, and healthy boundaries. But then also, like, as we've been learning all these new and healthy ways, sometimes it's important to go back and check in. Okay, maybe I set some boundaries, but where can I soften those? Because now I'm holding myself, I'm providing that for myself. So I can release more rigidity because even through this transformational process, many of us have went into some protective stances that were necessary and needed at that time. But now we're actually being called to say, hey, like you got this, you're so much stronger, your capacity has expanded, you can open this back up and embody into it. Your energy and how you provide for yourself becomes the natural protection, and maybe you can face some of those shadows or some of those experiences that you closed out before, not only because you're facing the shadows, but also because you're retrieving back the gifts, those parts of yourself that you need for the next leg of your journey. So we're replenishing resources and replenishing our life force through the willingness to relax the rigidity and embody our natural nature into the places and spaces, maybe where we once did not feel safe, but now we are safe enough within ourselves to go back into those parts of our experience. Okay. So this is a big part of what the illumination energy is wanting to bring forth. Okay. I do feel that there is also a message from the masculine and feminine that's wanting to come in for those of you connected to that part of the evolution journey. So we have actually, let's see, the feminines actually want to come in first. Let's see what we have with this process for the feminines. And of course, no matter how you identify, you will most likely resonate with both parts of these in some way because we do have masculine and feminine energies within us. Okay, we have clarity, planning, releasing illusion. This really literally perfect. It's that clarity, that illumination energy that I'm speaking about, the lifting of the illusion of maybe what once was, but is no longer necessary, right? It's like sometimes we have to go into energies, we have to understand things and allow ourselves to extract the experience, extract the information, but then also allow ourselves to lift out of like the illusion if this is no longer necessary. Is it no longer present and available, right? Because we're really working with clearing up what was so that we have more and more of our life force and energy embodied in the present moment, because the present moment is where our power is, my loves. Okay. And one of the things that's been coming through potentially for an illumination series is this deeper energy of like illuminating the truth. Where are we now? And this doesn't mean any all of your experience up until this point was valid and true. Clearly it was your experience, right? But we also can let go of any rigid beliefs or experiences and allow ourselves to become more adaptive to where we are now. So we can have a container, we can have rules for ourselves and boundaries for ourselves. But instead of holding those rigid forever, I mean, obviously some are appropriate to hold, right? But many of them you may find are actually not necessary anymore. And maybe even some of your old rigid rules are actually what's suffocating you. Okay. You may be the one suppressing and censoring yourself because you're trying to stay safe. Of course, we want to be safe, but this is where it's important for us to start to be willing to illuminate, okay, what do I need to keep in place and what can I let go? Because now it's actually holding an old idea in place that's no longer necessary. It's now becoming an illusion or an unnecessary um experience. Okay, again, everything has been valid up until this moment, but as we're growing we have to be willing to be adaptive to the present circumstances versus only trying to mitigate from past trauma responses. This is how we grow out of the trauma. Okay, my loves, what does life look like after trauma? Right? This is the evolution. We're working on the shadows, we're working through the trauma, but also we want to set the stage for life on earth without trauma. Okay? So this is what we're going to be illuminating, bringing to light, and supporting. Okay? And okay, it's this eagle, right? This eagle eye perspective helping to bring in the clarity, the illumination, but in a way, right, like where we're taking that higher intuition, that higher illumination, and bringing it into the physical body, into our daily life, right, into those censored pockets so that we can get all of the information that we need so that we can adapt to what actually works for us now, not what we previously knew, okay? Because we are evolving. All right, now what would the masculines like to bring forward? They want me to shuffle the deck, which is for me, a lot of times when I'm shuffling it in this way, it's connected to a timeline shift. So it does feel that we're going through a big transition, as we know. Let's see what we have. Ooh, okay. Both flew out. Wow. And we have a tidy house, clarity and organization, and then Garden of Venus, rest and renewal. So those are so, wow, this is so important, right? That we take time to tidy up, to clean up, to again, clarity. Another card of clarity. The masculines are mirroring the feminines. It's time to get clarity and get things in order. Okay. And as we are working through this process, it's also important that as things are realigning, that we're taking time to rest and renew. This is the replenishment energy I was speaking about, right? So if this is where we're asking for the illumination, and the illumination is showing us where we still are needing to clean up some of our loose ends, right? Get things organized physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, our health, our well being, our home, whatever it is. It can be whatever area or areas come up for you. It's like, okay, let's illuminate what needs some work, right? Some tidying up. And then as we're working with tidying it up, we're also making space to replenish ourselves and to replenish the space, okay? Because when we reorganize or we clean things up, we also want to imbue it with our new intention, right? Because if we're clearing up the old illusions and we're getting into the present moment of where are we now? What is our potential now? We're not just cleaning up the past, we are seeding the future, my loves. And this is where your conscious creation comes into play. So as you're cleaning up what was, you're now having more and more space to bring in what it is that you want, right? Embodying it through your visualizations, your intention setting, your writing or drawing of your blueprint of what you would like to co create with your highest power. Okay. All right. And I do feel guided to pick one overall energy to support both the masculines and feminines in this tidying up process. I very much feel, obviously, these are very intersected. These can absolutely be those internal union energies. I can say, this is a process I'm experiencing myself. And also like looking at the overarching collectives. So I want to ask to bring in a message for the masculine and feminine collectives together. And I'm going to go into my Beyond Lemuria deck. And let's see what wants to come through. Again, you can feel where things are in flux, that the cards are shuffling even a little bit disjointed, but it doesn't feel like a bad, it feels like where things were squished and suppressed and censored, and now they're getting opened up. So it's like, again, it's a little bit awkward. It's almost like, oh, where you open up a closet door that needs to be organized, right? And as you're opening it, it reveals where it might be messy and needs some tidying. But then when you open it up and you let the light illuminate the closet, now you're like, okay, I can start organizing. What do I want to keep? What needs to go to donation? What needs to go to the garbage? X, Y, and Z, and you start to organize and tidy up. But then again, you also want to clean and cleanse the area so that there's space for the new to come in. And then you replenish, right? Now you have that closet space and it's open to receiving the new things that might fit better in that closet. That's just obviously a really small example, but it feels like we're in that phase of sort of opening up a forgotten about space, but it's more space, it's more life force, it's more room for you to embody and grow and land, but it just needs a bit of tidying up and then you can embody into it. So where is this headed and how is this supporting the masculine and feminine collectives, individuals, and together? What do we got? Okay. Water, the overflow. Wow. Okay. So this is like where what I see immediately is like clarity, clarity and organization, making the space to rest and renewal. And as you are resting and renewing, you are making space for the overflow, for all of that gorgeous flow to come in. It'll have a nice, clean space to land. Okay. So this is physically about you in your being, about your environment, like we're saying, your home, your finances, your career, your relationships, whatever area or areas you are guided to work on right now, whatever you feel is needing some replenishment, this is what you're going to want to like, okay, this is what needs to be tidied up so that it can receive the replenishment. This is, they're giving me more and more visions. It's like if you have an area where you want to plant a garden, but it's not ready, you want to tend to it, tidy up prep the soil so that you can then plant the seeds, and then you rest and you allow the seeds to germinate so that you can receive that flow, right, of things to come in. So this is really, really, really preparing a space to receive reciprocity, to receive the resources, to receive replenishment. Okay. So we're in this process of really tending to our garden, so to speak. And you, my loves, are the garden. Okay. And this is where you're taking care of yourself, whether it's resting, tidying up, or simply surrendering into the receptive energies. I feel like it'll probably be a little bit of all of this. And I'm looking forward to supporting this process with that illumination session that I'll be posting here on YouTube very soon. So stay tuned for that. Again, I will have everything down in the pinned comments if you want to look into that uncensored series or any of the other sessions that are available on my site. And I may be quiet for a few days because I'm going on a little bit of a sabbatical for myself to do some of just this, some rejuvenation. So I will see you soon once I return. And again, in the meantime, that illumination session will be available here for you to take advantage of and participate with as guided. And for my members on YouTube and Patreon, I will be sharing some more videos coming up over the next week. So you will see me sooner than later. And I am sending each and every one of you so much love. I hope you enjoyed this message. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night. And take care. Much love. Bye.